Mohammed.
That's associated with almost every one of those slogans that you try to pioneer. So the point is, when people say freedom of speech, and now it's funny because now the fascists are using this term, freedom of speech and freedom of expression, to what extent can freedom of speech and expression be, instantiated in the context of, in the context of also a legal framework, and a framework which claims to be a pluralistic one and a capitalistic framework. These things don't work in contradistinction. These work, there are points of contradiction between things like freedom of expression, freedom of speech, democracy, capitalism. They don't work in contradistinction. So if you've decided now to put on the garb of the Western man and put on Enlightenment ideas on, because maybe you've been influenced in that way, then you have to understand that when you do that, you're not going to have a coherent policy each time. What's going to end up happening is, and what is happening is, we see the far right using these tools and these political or philosophical ideas to their advantage. But freedom of expression, people like, for example, Alexis de Tocqueville, who is one of the pioneers of democracy, He wrote Democracy in America. I can't remember the name of his book, but he wrote extensively on democracy. And he talked about extensively the tyranny of the majority. How comes we don't find, and so did J.S. Mill, by the way, in his On Liberty. Well, how comes we don't find people like Tommy Robinson talking about those parts of democracy, those parts of pluralism, those parts of that right-wing narrative? They don't talk about those parts of democracy which the initial kind of philosophical heads talked about, which advantage minorities. Now, what that does for me, like from my perspective,
for me it's really simple.
Just to finish off,
you're right.
Just to finish off though, Raj, I feel like as a minority, who is probably, and you yourself, you were against the National Front, yeah? So as minorities, what we have to do is we have to kind of, I'm not going to say we unite ideologically, but we can unite on this cause. What we don't want to see is people that have probably felt the same pain of discrimination from the 60s or 70s onwards when you guys started to immigrate into this country, or your forefathers started. Now you're coming and turning, making a U-turn 180 degrees, backstabbing the same minority group that you are part of, hoping to.
You don't know the.
I'm not saying that you're doing that. We hope that you don't do that.
I don't want to go too much into what Tommy Robinson and me said. One of the things I did say to him and I said to him, I said, the people that you hang around with, some of them are very extreme. Generation Identity, BNP, Britain First. I find them to be racist, but I don't find Tommy Robinson to be racist. He may be extreme in his views in terms of some of Islam, because he does go mad. Every time somebody said to me last time on Twitter, I don't look at Twitter, that all he does is Islam, Islam, Islam. So I did check it. It is pretty crazy. It is Islam, 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 Islam. All negativity. Jews. So he has faults in himself, but I don't believe that he's a type of person that we should totally ignore. He's not a Nazi. Now, if there were Nazis, I'd say, I'd still speak to them, but we disregard them.
Raj, what I'm saying to you, sorry, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
So Tommy Robinson is a symptom of a problem of what happened in Luton. Yeah? Tommy Robinson, listen to me.
Also, his wife was in a relationship with him.
So I went around, I've been around England.
It's true.
We'll discuss that later. Yeah?
Why?
What's more important to discuss is this, look. You've got real dangerous elitists, real racists, who you don't get to see. So, for example, when you go for a job, the fact that you give your name in as an ethnic name means you're already 50% cancelled. Yeah? When they see you and your colour, you're cancelled then. Real racism.
And when you're a Muslim, it's cancelled more.
Again, more.
Yes.
So these are real issues. See, for me, life is about what is a real issue. Real issue is child poverty. Why in 2018 are there poor Muslim kids, black kids, Asian kids? There shouldn't be no poor kids. In England, 2018, in charge of the Commonwealth, there should not be poor children in England, especially not in London, where you've got £25 million flats, you've got Arabs doing wheel spins in Ferraris and getting the cars lifted and saying, I've got another two. there shouldn't be any poor kids starving. See me, first thing I'd do is I'd say to some of them Arab kids, could you give us some of your foreigns so we can sell them and use that for poor children?
Yeah, I get your point, but Mr. Singh,
for me, it's about rich versus poor.
What was the point
labels,
I wanted to?
You have to look at who's making the labels.
You're right. Mr. Singh.
Yeah, mostly. I don't know if you hang around in Leicester Square and that. It's mostly Arab plates.
Well, I mean, yeah, we see them. But Mr. Singh, what I'm trying to forge with you and Raj, you're welcome to this, yeah? As what I'm saying is, look, as minorities, we have to look out for each other. We actually do. We actually do, you know? Because the thing is, if you look at England is more homogenous than people think. London isn't, but England, the UK is. Look at the amount of minorities that exist in the UK. There are not that many comparative to the white majority. It's not as multicultural a place as you think it is. If you look at the census data, it's not. London is quite multicultural. Birmingham is very multicultural.
All the cities are multicultural.
Yeah.
So
but other areas are not.
All
Exactly.
But the countryside and the coast.
Yeah. What I'm saying to you, Raj, yeah, and this is my request, or even my advice, if you like. Yeah, I would just say to you, look, yeah, me and you are different religions, for example. We come from different parts of the world, but one thing that actually makes us quite similar, or makes all of us quite similar here, is the fact that we are all generationally. That we all come from different generations of immigrants, yeah? So our parents have come as immigrants, so second or third generation or whatever. You have to understand something here. You don't know how politics is going to... We don't know the political direction of certain things. We don't know what they're going to decide to do.
I do my research.
No, in the future, right?
No, even in the future, listen.
What, you're going to...
understand, rich people have always suppressed poor people. That's history of the world.
Okay.
First, rich people used armies, but armies cost a lot of money. Armies, you have to feed them. So army was replaced by religion. Then religion was used to manipulate poor people. After religion, money was used to manipulate poor people. Now technology is being used to manipulate poor people. It's always been a battle of rich versus poor. If you go to Saudi Arabia and you go and speak to all the rich Arabs, they're not religious. You know that, and I know
some of them, yeah.
Some of them. I'm just saying, if you go to the Vatican, you go to the Vatican in Rome, you sit and chill with some of them.
But Mr. Singh, what I wanted to put to you guys is as follows, right? That we need to now think of getting along. In a better way. No, hold on, but let me tell you what we mean by this.
For example, you're Mo.
Yeah.
Nice name. Where do you come from? You're London, yeah? Whereabouts in London?
It's near the area.
Where?
What you want me to tell the people where? I've got a lot of enemies, brother. I've got a lot. I'll tell you later, man. I'll tell you off air.
West London, East London, North.
I'll tell you later.
No, West London.
Let's say like Northwest London.
Right, Northwest London.
Yeah.
So I was in Grenfell Tower for 6 months. That's your local manor. So I was in Grenfell Tower for 6 months. So why was I there every day? I've got other things to do because London was in trouble. The people we expected to help those families in Grenfell Tower, they stayed away. So the Red Cross, Salvation Army.
I guess what I'm trying to say to you guys is, look, let's not make this a matter of, okay, like Raj and others, and we get the feeling now, not the Sikh community. I reckon the Sikh, because look, you've got to be careful, Raj.
I don't speak for the Sikhs.
No, I know you don't, but you're wearing. Hold on. Hold on. No, you do, but. Here's what I see, right? I don't see a friction necessarily between the Sikh and the Muslim community in this country. There might have been one historically in India, okay? That's a different story. Yeah, but there isn't one here. So what I want to say is that we want to continue the good relationship between the Muslims and the Sikhs. What you're doing, I fear, might jeopardize that, in my opinion. Because let me say, hold on, Raj.
Think Tommy Robinson's that good?
Mr. Singh, now listen, hold on. Let me just.
A little pebble. The Tory party.
Look.
Tory party. Rich conservatives. The government.
In my country, they say the little stone you belittle will crack somebody's head. Yeah? So you need to be careful with the little stones.
Mr. Singh, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, please. Yeah, this is what I'm saying to you kindly. Yeah, I'm not saying this to you like you can decide to do whatever you want. But what I'm saying to you here is this: this is a good opportunity for us here at Speakers Corner. A lot of thousands of people watch our videos. Yeah, to do community bridge, to build community bridges. Yeah, of understanding. Now we might have a discussion, for example, on Sikhism, on Islam, on these things. But at the end of it, we're all on the same kind of track.
No, now, human beings at the end of it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if you yourself, you got to be. Everyone here is responsible for their own actions, right? So what I'm saying here is,
it took me a long time to decide on doing that.
Raj, listen. I understand what you're under.
I didn't just turn up willy-nilly.
I understand.
Anyway, look,
do a video with Abdul Hakim.
I do.
Go do it with him, yeah? Do a video.
We don't need to do that.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Yeah?
But you getting what I'm saying right now?
I know what you're saying.
So we're saying that we want to build a bridge. We don't want to make this into like, we don't want to make enmity happen. All right, we don't want to create hate. So what I'm saying is, if in order for that to happen, for instance, you've got to be sensitive of certain things.
Yeah, I know.
Let me say, can I just finish the sentence, please? I beg you. Yeah. You understand that the Muslim community are very much averse to certain ultra-right people. Yeah. I might know that seriously, like the Jewish community might be completely averse to certain characters that might be anti-Semitic, yeah? I might know, you might inform me that, look, there's someone that the Sikh community, this person's being, in the Sikh people's opinion, obnoxious to us, yeah? Now, I could decide, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to photograph with him, I'm going to speak to him, I'm going to whatever. Or I could decide, you know what, because I do care about Sikh neighbours, I do care about them, and I know, but by the way, and this has to be said, the Sikhs have done a lot of good in this country, yeah? And in terms of, especially in terms of like charity and stuff like that, they're quite underrated in that regard, yeah? What I'm saying to you, Raj, seriously, they open up the temples for food and drink and homeless people, and the work that they do is really good, yeah? Now, what I don't want to happen is for someone like yourself to undermine the good work of many Sikhs.
No, but he won't.
Do you understand? So that's what I'm saying.
He won't do that.
But are you understanding what I'm saying?
Right, just repent and come back.
Because we have our own people.
You need to let me talk. You need to let me talk. And don't disturb me for a couple of minutes.
Yes, go ahead.
When I first come here, I admit I was so extreme that I hated everybody. Yeah, my relative was groomed here, so I had a lot of hate in my heart. So let me just talk. I didn't like Muslims, I didn't like anyone. Then I come and I've learned so much in 6 months. I like Salafis, I like Shamsi, I want to go to a mosque, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I have moved my position. A lot of people call me a snake, but I'm not a snake. I learn.
Okay, fine. That sounds good. No, it's good.
And then I adjust my behaviour.
Thank you.
And I start saying, oh, not all Muslims,
That's very
not
good.
this. So people think I'm extreme now, but I'm way into the middle.
Listen,
so if you met me 8 months ago,
radicalising you.
if you met me 8 months ago, now I'm in the middle. But I still believe, that in terms of Tommy Robinson, he's a misunderstood guy who's angry like I was, and the only way to stop anger is to speak.
That's right.
Okay.
And so when I come here and I speak
Tommy
to so many
Robinson has
people,
changed a lot
the dialogue
from where he started to where he is now.
I've seen that as well. I've seen that as well.
I've
seen that as well.
Yeah.
When he went on TV, I listened to what he had to say, and I thought
They paid him to do that. Did you know that? He admitted that he was going into prison and he couldn't pay for his mortgage, so he had an agreement.
you know the work. Quillian Foundation.
Imagine the one who was going to pay for his wife's fees while he's in prison.
Listen, you know the work. Let me tell you, brother, the work that was done in the last 3 years by Quillian Foundation and other organisations of intellectuals meant that the extremes of Islamic extreme youth and right extreme both.
But can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
What you found was,
in my opinion, that's not correct.
We can have
Mr. Singh.
intellectual discussions.
Yeah.
What we can't do is hate. Hatred is the failure of life. Listen, war is the failure of mankind. Hatred is the failure of your life. If you hate people, you're lost.
Hatred is what?
Hatred is the failure of life. It's a misunderstanding.
Have you said hatred?
I know. I've got a lot of hate in my heart.
Give an example.
Right, so Raj.
Mo is a happy bloke. He's a happy bloke. You're a happy bloke.
I'm not happy.
That means you understand life. You have a certain education and conditioning. So I would say you have like a British education and conditioning.
You want Britain? Tell me about British.
Right? No, I'm just saying.
I've got both, by the way. I've got some Arabic stuff as well.
That you've got someone. See me, I went around the world, asked the Native Americans what happened to them, asked the Aboriginals what happened to them, and I relearned world history. So that everything they taught me in school was actually lies. Yeah?
What might happen
all
to
this
the
cowboys and Indian stuff is all Hollywood fuck-ass.
And what might happen to the Muslims?
The real history of the world is about minorities being oppressed and empires and colonialism. You know what the French did? What you should be teaching him is about what the French did in Africa and North and the Middle East. That's what you want to learn.
But can I say something that's something in my heart?
So for me now,
let Raj say what he wants to say. Go on.
I am so grateful to the universe to be born in London.
So Raj, what do you want to
I grew
say?
up with mixed people,
Sorry, I apologise.
At university, everywhere, I've grew up with mixed people. And whenever I'd meet one one group of people who are a bit extreme in their views, I'd also meet the counter-narrative people.
Are you talking about?
So I met a lot of good Muslims. I've got a lot of good Muslim friends who actually do their prayer, who are actually intelligent, who actually, all I can say is they're angels. Because they do their prayers, they're very balanced, they can discuss anything with anyone, and you know what? They're good mates, they're good friends.
Well, Mr. Singh, I'll say...
Can I say something before you go? I need to give you a compliment to the Muslim
in the same way...
Let me just say this.
You're going to compliment
I am, because in the last couple of weeks here, I've seen something that I've been wishing for a long time. When people are condemning the extremists, like Abdul and Keki, none of them haven't. And so one of the things I'm seeing here, and I'm kind of like very pleased with it, and I think it's a good step in the right way, is to start weeding out the extremists within your own community as well.
Because just deal with them, just say to them.
Because we can't do it. It's only you can do it.
That's what you've got to do.
But let me be honest with you, okay, about this. All right. So with counter-extremism or de-radicalizing, a lot of that is not going to happen publicly. A lot of the stuff, counter-extremism narrative, de-radicalization, happens naturally, organically, when Muslims, truthfully and honestly, explain their religion to those who want to learn. Okay, so there's a byproduct of kind of de-radicalization, as you would like to put it. But we don't do it for that purpose. We do it because we want to teach people about Islam.
What I believe you should do, I believe those of you who are intelligent should do debates and discussions. First and foremost, you've got to do it in-house. So like, we've got Sikh, radical people in the Sikh community that are very radical.
Very radical. But
they make some of the brothers
I don't like going up
look like small brothers. We've got some proper superstars in our community that really is best to avoid them.
Like who?
Unfortunately, you have to sit with them. We got a lot.
What's their names?
No, go to Birmingham.
Listen, chill out. What I'm saying to you is this, every community has them. I've met Jewish right-wing people, I've met English right-wing people, Islamic. What I normally do is I say to them, please explain to me where you're coming from. I understand where they're coming from. And then I explain to them why they were conditioned through programming to think the wrong way. So for me, why would you, if you've got a good family, you're intelligent, you're a good-looking man, why would you want to, rather than have children, and be happy and make your parents proud, why would you want to just run off and kill yourself for no reason? I would first, let's imagine I was a Muslim, I would go to Syria and help the families there. I'd go to Iraq and help the families there. I would go right now to Yemen and help the families that are being bombed by the Saudis. Why is nobody making noise about Yemen? Yemenis never attacked any countries that, as far as I know. Why are they being bombed?
Well, look, I mean, there's so many, like you said, the Muslim world is a massive thing, right? Today I had a full-length discussion. Last week I had a full-length discussion with Zionists. We're trying to deal with one thing at a time. We're into Rohingya, Central African Republic. It takes time.
Sikhs go and feed in the immediate disaster area. So right now, Rohingyas was an immediate disaster. Sikhs went straight away.
Well, that's what I like about it. So what I want to say just on this, because I think I need to make a movement as well, is what... No, come on. What I was going to say to you guys is that we all have a social responsibility, right? We all have a social responsibility. So what I'm saying to you guys now, because you seem like a very well-educated, a member of a sensible person who's a good representative for the Sikh community, right? Hold on, I'm coming to you. I haven't said anything yet. What you said was really good as well, which is that you're learning and that you were very radical in the beginning, and that's excellent. And what I'm saying is this.
But I wouldn't be able to do that unless I talked.
No, I'm really happy that you said that. I'm really happy that you said that. What I'm saying is, look, the doors are always open for communication. The Muslim community wants to have more productive. I think this has been a very productive conversation, very fruitful discussion. We want to have more of those with people like yourselves.
100%.
And you know what I want to say to you, generally speaking, there will come times where we need to work together on certain causes.
100%.
Yeah, so we hope that we can...
So in Calais, we went to Calais to feed Calais. This was about 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
And we were there, and we do instant food. There was Islamic charities here. They were shocked. They're like, how comes you as Sikhs are here when the majority here are Muslim? I said, look,
I know you guys.
See them as
that's
Muslims,
right. Yes.
See them as human beings that are living in tents, that are living in squalor, they haven't had a shower. See them as human beings first.
And on that note, my friend, thank you very much for this discussion. Thank you, man. Thank you.